Frame by frame animation is very much as it sounds. Each frame contains a different movement or a different position of an object, which then makes it look like it's moving. So you can see on this example one here, I've only got the first frame filled in. If I close some of these off so you can see what they actually look like. So on the clock, it's just a couple of circles drawn on the screen. Numbers have just been placed around there on this layer. I've got a hand object drawn, which is the important thing. This is what we're going to try and animate. And then I've got a countdown, which at the moment just says 10. Now what I'm interested in doing really is making the hand look like it's moving around. First thing I check, I've got down here 12 frames per second. I can check also in properties. Over here it says 12 frames per second. That's great for animation. What I want to be able to do is to take this hand position and each consecutive frame just move it slightly. So what I'm going to do is on the second position of the hand, I'm going to put F7 to make an empty blank frame. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend my numbers across so I can actually see where I'm going to be moving to. And I'll do the same for the clock. So I'm going to basically come over to about 12 and press F5. And I'm going to do the same thing underneath for the clock. So I can see right the way through what my clock's going to look like. Okay, so here's my hand. My hand's just been drawn by basically putting two objects together. I've drawn a little triangle and a rectangle, and I've drawn it in the shape mode, so they've basically merged together to form one. If I use this selection tool, my free transform selection tool, when I click on my object, I see that I get this little white area. Now this white area is the pivot point. That's really important. What I can do is I can hold down my mouse pointer on that and I can drag it down. And if I drag that right down to the bottom, basically, and then let go, my pivot point is now going to be there. So what I want to do is I want to copy this shape and then paste it in the next frame. So I'm just going to go to Edit and click Copy. I could use Control-C. I'm going to go into this next empty keyframe. And this is the important one. I'm going to do what's called paste in place. So I'm going to go to Edit. You can't see it on your screen, it's just slightly off screen, but there's one called paste in place. And it puts it in the same position. So all I'm going to do now in this next position is I'm going to go up. You can see that I get the rotation tool coming on because I'm still using my free transform tool. And I'm just going to move this across to the next position. Okay, I'm going to come to the next frame along. I'm going to do F7. I'm going to do paste in place again. And in this one, I'm going to move this one to the second position. And I'm going to do this one more time so you can see. I'm going to move this to the next position again, the 3. Okay, I'm just going to fill in the rest very quickly in the same way. Okay, so you can see now that they've all been filled in. If I drag my playhead back and forth, we get the motion of the clock hand moving around based on this frame by frame animation. The only other thing I've done is I've extended my countdown frame right the way through to the same distance as well, so it shows the 10 for the full rotation of the clock. If I do Control and Enter just to test this, I'll see the thing moving round and round. What I want it to be able to do though is to have this 10 countdown and change as that goes along as well. So the easiest way to do that is to be able to reproduce all of these frames as one. The easiest way to do that is to highlight them all just by dragging over them. If I now hold down the Alt button and drag at the same time, you can see what happens. And I can do that a third time. So I'm reproducing all those movements. Now all I need to do is to go back into this one where it says 10. I can edit the 10 and make that into a 9. Go into the next one, turn that 10 into an 8. And I would keep on doing this until I've done all of them. I'm not going to do any more than that now. I'm just going to do Control Enter and show you how that works. Okay, so you can see that as the clock goes round, it's actually counting down as well. And if I put another 7 of those on there, I would have a countdown down to 0, which then I can have something else happening. Okay, good luck.